Now to start out making our flower, I'm going to be using Graphically Speaking, but I just wanted to give you a little bit more information on Walk in My Garden. The other 3 flowers that we did were made with Walk in My Garden, and which could be expected. There's a lot of different flowers to choose from on here, and we made like a sunflower type flower, we used a daisy, more of your basic flowers, which this is one of the original cartridges that ever started out with Cricut. And it really is great if this is going to be your first time to own an Expression or a Cricut. Cutting out these basic flowers really is the easiest way to start out. So just kind of some information there for you on that. I decided to use Graphically Speaking, and I wanted to show you this one because I wanted to show how it totally, to me, I was surprised that I found a flower that I liked. This really is a very versatile cartridge. On the page, I'm just showing you the page from where I got the flower I'm going to be cutting out. There really is a wide range of products that you can make using this one cartridge. So first I'm just going to show you how I cut out my flowers. They are very basic and simple to start out with, which is really nice because when you look at this flower, it's so three-dimensional, which I did have to cut a lot of them out, but I already have some cut out, so I'll show you. A very basic flower, and I just did some cutting on it, which was very easy as well, which I'm going to show you. And first I just want to start out showing how I cut out the flower because it was a little different. I had to push different buttons to get to this image because it wasn't just one that's already on the keypad. First I get to load the paper. And again, this is basic gray paper from their 2 scoops line. And in order to get this image, anything that's at the top of your boxes is going to use the shift key. And for this particular one, I'm going to have to push the shift key and then the phrase key and then the image for this page, which is called Brand Spanking New. But it will bring up my flower. And also the size flowers that I used for the ones that flare out was an even 5-inch, which is easy to remember. And I have my image. I want to make sure that my size is right. And the pressure I'm going to use for this is max. I'm just going to start cutting out the flower. While that's cutting, I'll show you some things. The pink that you see coming out on the outside of this flower, I used by making it 5.5 inch, so that it was just a little bit, stuck out a little bit more than the back side. So I actually layered it on both sides, and I wanted the pink to kind of break that up a little bit. And then I also cut this exact same flower for the smaller piece inside, and that is 1.5 inch. And what's nice about using the Cricut is it is such a smart machine, and it stops right where you need it to stop so that you can immediately cut another shape without having to move it around. You know it's going to cut right where you need it to, and it's not going to run off the edge or run over the flower that you've already cut. This is a great machine. Once I have all my flowers cut out, I'm going to start showing you the process for giving the 3D effect. And I guess I can go ahead and start with this blue one. All I did was I skipped in between the petals. I went every other petal, and I took the scissors and just went straight into the middle of the flower. It's almost like you're making little hearts, so that makes it easy to remember. And if you have some like mid-size scissors, these are some scissors we've shown before. They have almost the perfect length so that you can just do the full length of the scissor into the middle. And once you have all of your cuts, for the blue, I actually folded the opposite way to where it was folding down. So you just take it, and right where the crease of the heart is, And don't be afraid to make it a really good crease. That way it tends to hold better. And this blue is actually going to be covered up by the green pattern paper, so you don't have to worry if it's not perfect. And now you have a 3D effect. Now this shape stopped cutting. I'm just going to unload and peel off the whole, usually you can just peel off the whole entire sheet, and your perfectly cut out flowers will stick to the mat. Voila! And I'm going to use my handy dandy little Cricut tool spatula to start the process of peeling off the flower. And it's always great if you peel straight out, otherwise it kind of curls. So again, just kind of use the spatula to get you started, and then just pull straight out instead of pulling up like that. And this is our top layer of the flower. So I'm going to do the same process. And for the last one, I wanted the folds to go down. So this time I want them to flare out. I'm just going to bend upward to where the white of the paper is showing when you have it closed. This gives a really neat effect once you place them together and the bends kind of meet together. And you're just going to use some adhesive to glue those together, and using the pink behind it really makes it pop. Now I already had a second set of flowers made for you, so you didn't have to watch me do that. And I just duplicated the exact same process so that we have two sets that can come together and you have the same side on the front and the back. And now I'm going to show you, I took the same flower, I just didn't cut this one, I left it as is, and I said before, this is a 5.5 inch, so that it's a little bit bigger than the 5-inch flowers you cut before. And I'm just going to add a little bit of glue. I'm just using some Flower Soft glue. This glue really works great for us. But just apply the flower together to where the pink will show on both sides. And same thing, I'm going to add a little bit of glue just to the center right here. You really do not need a whole lot because you want it to stand out and not be glued together. Now you want to assemble the whole flower. For that, I just applied a little bit of glue in the center, the pink. Now that it's all attached, I'm going to take our Crocodile Big Bite and make sure it's on the low setting to where you're punching the smallest hole, because these embellishments really don't need a big hole to come through. Now we have our hole in the flower. I'm just going to add an embellishment. These really are fun because they come in so many different styles. We have glitter, felt, crystal, and this little cute crocheted one. I'm going to use this solid pink one, and it might be hard for you to see, but it has some lighter little pink dots all around it. Place it in, close it on the back, and that'll hold it nicely together. And if you wanted to go a little step further, you could add an embellishment to the back side if you wanted to. Now that our flower is all intact, I'm going to show you the last few steps to putting this all together using our leaves and our dowel and some of the fun grass paper.